The script for the female protagonist, who is prepared for domestic struggles, business rivalries, and agricultural endeavors, is unexpectedly one of cultivating immortality. Accompanying her is a precious little treasure. Oh, Mama, this is indeed possible. Despite being perceived as both aged and unattractive, and being dismissed by all as incapable of attaining immortality, the protagonist's sole desire is to amass wealth. With sufficient spirit stones, she can pave her path to the heavens. Chapter 1. Prologue. 3 years into the apocalypse, at the Hope Base, within an apartment of the Fire Phoenix team, Hu Qing lies in bed, her complexion flushed and her consciousness hazy. She has a fever, not from illness, but as a result of awakening her supernatural powers. For 3 years, Hu Qing has relied on sheer determination to maintain her position within the task force. But now, she feels an overwhelming sense of loss and melancholy. She has not dreamt in 3 years after her powers awaken. Will she be unable to dream forever? The high fever clouds her mind, yet her thoughts race uncontrollably, pulling her back to memories of opportunities she could never share with anyone. She has traversed into another world, albeit briefly, a world that felt undeniably real. She has also visited a third world, which she frequented every night 3 years ago. That world, however, may not be truly real. The third world holds people she cares for, individuals she cannot forsake. She once believed she would navigate through these realms for a lifetime, but with the apocalypse overwhelming the real world, she has not returned to the second or third worlds. Of her daughter, Wan. In her days, Hu Qing hears the creak of the door as a tall man enters, cloaked in a thick coat with a hood and a large mask. Although she cannot rise or speak, she recognizes him immediately. He is her only blood relative in this world, her half-brother. The man stands at the foot of her bed, gazing intently, seemingly engaged in a final struggle. Hu Qing scoffs inwardly, having entered her room. There is no need for pretense. The team is aware of her awakening powers by protocol. No outsiders are allowed in the apartment during this period. The fact that he can enter quietly suggests someone has let him in. Sighing, Hu Qing foresees the impending disintegration of the Fire Phoenix team. Driven by power, passion, resources, or even a fleeting slight, betrayal and treachery abound in the apocalypse, where laws and morals crumble and the darker sides of humanity are unleashed without restraint. Unfortunately, the initial warmth of camaraderie that founded the team has failed to withstand the harsh realities of their situation. So, what are you hesitating for? Struggling to open her eyes, Hu Qing's gaze, laced with derision, incites anger in the intruder. He draws a short knife from a sealed bag, its blade smeared with blackened flesh and blood zombie remnants. How ironic that, in the end, he seeks to maintain appearances, intending to create the illusion of her failure to awaken, transforming her into a zombie before sending her off with a clear conscience. Hypocrisy, identical to that of another man. The man lowers his head slightly, ensuring she hears clearly. You seek revenge for your mother, I will seek revenge for mine. Hu Qing's cold laughter intensifies. Her vengeance for her mother encompasses 3 lives, aimed solely at discrediting that man. She has not taken his life, nor has she harmed his mother. Your mother, with a new man, continues to Threvito. You expect me to enact vengeance on your behalf? You should be grateful that I have allowed you to inherit a powerful new father. As he lifts her clothing, the knife's tip presses against her spine, piercing an inch deep. Hu Qing feels the cold touch of bone, but no pain or fever has dulled her senses. Alas, her efforts may prove futile. No amount of preparation can counter the fickleness of human hearts, and in this apocalypse, finding absolute safety is a distant dream. As the virus spreads, Hu Qing perceives the once vibrant energy within her turning cold, vitality consumed by deathly despair. If she fails to awaken, will she become a zombie? Panic seizes her heart. Will she truly never see her Wan again? The power of her abilities clashes with the viral force in her mind, causing her thoughts to swell dangerously. Her heart races uncontrollably. Mine Wan, mine Wan, mine Wan. In an explosive moment, a brilliant light emerges through the darkness, and she distinctly sees her Wan being struck. With a surge of unexplainable strength, Hu Qing reaches into the light, grasping something. Her soul lifts, her body lightens, and she finds newfound strength. Thinking of her only relative in this world, Hu Qing opens her eyes, her gaze clear and compassionate. The man shudders. Has she been possessed? Radiant and ethereal, Hu Qing, with a tone of benevolence, utters her final words. I do not blame you. Also, thank you. What is she saying? She does not blame him and thanks him? What does this mean? He has killed her. She should despise him, glare with eyes filled with despair and hatred, longing to consume him. Why should she forgive him? No, she does not forgive. She does not blame him. Is she a saint? Why should she look down upon him? He has taken her life, and she still looks down upon him? The man's psyche unravels. This is not what he wished to see. He desires to witness her humiliation, her despair, her pleas for mercy. He wants to see her beg him, get up. You are not allowed to die. I will not permit it. The man grips Hu Qing's shoulders tightly, shaking her forcefully, watching as her face turns pale, her eyes tightly shut, only to open once more, revealing a crimson glow. In astonishment, he exclaims, You cannot die. I will take care of you, Bam. The man is thrown against the wall, crashing to the ground in agony, staring in horror at the zombie before him. No, she is not a zombie. Who are you? He trembles, questioning the being before him. The zombie moves with the grace of a living, its gaze terrifying yet composed, the light within its eyes foreign. This is not Hu Qing. The awakened figure slowly rises, surveying the unfamiliar surroundings with caution. Where is this place? Everything feels so strange and alien. She approaches the door, walking past the man. Hey, you're not her you are. Who crack? The neck snaps, eyes wide open in death finality. Chapter 2. Reunion. The hunter on the mountain is dead. Did you see him? I just want to check. TSK. He died rather cleanly. The men in the village say he was killed by a man even fiercer and stronger than he. Serves him right that in a destitute mountain village. Two women gossip while gazing at the path halfway up the hill. The woman with a round face remarks, Indeed, it serves him right. The previous two women were brutally killed by him. It's karma. With this villain gone, the entire village can breathe easy. I say, his heart must be as dark as the hunts he committed. Each time he entered the village, his gaze was terrifying, as if he were ready to kill. But now that he is dead, we need not live in fear. The round-faced woman adds, Just those two little girls, one big and one small, so thin they resemble scarecrows. They might have already been killed and fed to wolves. Who cares? The village chief said we need not fear personal vendettas. We should be wary of a killer, even more ruthless than the hunter who might strike at the villagers. They have already arranged for patrols. The woman with a wide nose responds, That's serious. I must have my husband repair the doors, windows, and walls. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to them, the more formidable killer they speak of is hastily carrying a child down the mountain path. 5-year-old Hunwan frequently glances back. Mama, we have been walking all night, and half the day they can't catch up. Let me down, and let's rest. Hu Qing persists. Mama still has strength. We can walk a little further. Hunwan nuzzles her soft little nose against her mother's shoulder. Mama, did you gain strength from chopping monsters? With a stumble, Hu Qing stops and bends her legs, allowing the little one to slide down her back. Sitting on the ground, she meets the child's gaze. Can you see me? Hu Qing is astonished after the apocalypse. She cannot see her daughter, yet her daughter can see her. Hunwan nods. I can see you when I close my eyes. She adds, Now I can't see anything. Hu Qing was taken aback. Straining to listen, she heard no voices, only the gentle sound of flowing water. She led the little one towards the source of the sound, discovering a clear stream nestled among the stones. She washed her face and tore off a piece of her skirt to clean the child's hands and face, providing her with some water before she could attend to the pressing matters at hand. At merely 5 years of age, Onan was somewhat shorter and leaner than her contemporaries in the modern world. Her once chubby little face had thinned considerably, and her pair of strikingly bright eyes appeared even larger, evoking a sense of compassion in those who beheld her. In her previous life, Hu Qing had been an ordinary girl, burdened by the common grievances of familial love and hate. The negligence of her father had led to the tragic demise of her mother and maternal grandparents, propelling Hu Qing into a relentless pursuit of vengeance. One fateful day, Hu Qing found herself transported from her dreams into the body of a minor concubine in a secluded courtyard, who was in the throes of childbirth. The concubine, fearing pain and death, had resolved not to give birth, jeopardizing the life of her child. With urgency, Wu Qing intervened alongside the midwife to ensure the child was safely delivered. The outcome was a pitiful little girl, akin to a frail kitten, who was none other than Kuan. Time in the real world remained frozen at that fateful night, leaving Gu Qing to wonder if it was merely an excessively vivid dream. In her rage, Wu Qing disfigured the concubine, rendering her incapable of vying for favor with who was now relegated to being an unappreciated daughter. However, a twist of fate ensued. After saving Kuan, Hu Qing was expelled from that realm, marking the moment when Hunat gained the ability to enter dreams. To be precise, when both of them fell asleep in their respective realities, they would converge in a third world parallel to Hu Qing's original existence. There, they lived a life reflective of the 21st century until the apocalypse descended upon Hu Qing's world. "How long has it been since you parted from Mama?" Hu Qing inquired of Hunat, extended 3 fingers. 30 days. Wu Qing's heart swelled with joy. "Mama's little Nung can count the days now." Wu Nan replied, "Or was it 40 days? Hu Qing was momentarily speechless. The child, having faced adversity since birth, demonstrated remarkable prowess in counting. After all, it had only been about a month, thankfully. Time moved slowly here. Otherwise, the sight of her daughter, surrounded by children and grandchildren, would have been too much to bear. "What happened to the family? How did you end up in this secluded spot?" Wu Qing probed further. Wu Nan replied, "I remember what others said. They mentioned a confiscation." Wu Qing understood. Corrupt officials, it was only a matter of time. Wu Nan continued, "Everyone was sold." Hu Qing asked, "And how much are we sold for?" Hu Nan, with a single hand raised and an additional finger pointed, responded, 6 taels. Hu Qing pressed down the middle 3 fingers of the raised hand, and then the other hand. 6. She mirrored her gesture, indicating 666. Hu Man examined her own hand and held it up for Wu Qing to see. 6. Wu Qing nodded. "So, that fearsome villain purchased us, bringing us to this secluded place, where he struck me and you as well." Onan nodded vigorously like a little chick. "Mama, I am scared." Tears welled in her eyes as she buried herself in Hu Qing's embrace. Wu Qing's heart ached at the sight, contemplating that had she known that death would lead her here, she would have welcomed it sooner. "Do not fear, do not fear. Would you be afraid if Mama were to take a life?" Wu Qing asked. Owen, at the tender age of learning and absorbing everything, shook her head. "I am not afraid. After we parted, I closed my eyes and saw many times Mama has slain many monsters and even people." Wu Qing felt a pang of discomfort. This education seemed a bit excessive. Onan innocently stated, "They were all bad people." Wu Qing embraced her. Indeed, they were all bad people. Every life she had taken in the apocalypse was of those who sought to harm her. Their demise was well-deserved. To spare them would have meant her own death, and notion she found unacceptable. She declared, "Come, Mama will carry you." Fortunately, Mama foresaw that family would eventually face calamity and secretly stored some provisions. "Once we retrieve them, Mama will take you away to live a good life." Hu Nan beamed. "So, Mama will never part from me again?" "Indeed, we shall never part." By the sea, lush green mountains towered, crowned with a temple. The ascent was gentle, the path not steep, and the temple modest yet bustling with incense. In the dead of night, Hu Qing led Hunang through a drainage outlet beneath the wall. This outlet was larger than the others, likely used by the small creatures of the mountains, with the stones less jagged. As she crawled ahead, upon crossing the wall, her hand brushed against a clump of fur, uncertain whether it belonged to a dog, cat, or fox. She carefully nudged the tuft aside, ensuring it did not waft into her daughter's nose, causing a sneeze that might attract unwanted attention.